Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dave's Wrestling Pitches. Now, recently I asked on Twitter which WWE superstar you would like to see me do a pitch video for, and the answer was unanimous: Cesaro. And that's a real shame. Not because I don't like Cesaro, because I do, and not because I don't want to do a pitch video for him, because I do. It's just because when you look at all the people in WWE and rank all the really talented ones together, and the ones that should be, in theory, above bad booking, Cesaro's in that group. And yet, here I am, sad face emoji, sigh. There's always been a very vocal section of WWE's fan base, a Cesaro section, if you want to get technical about this, that's been supportive of Cesaro throughout his career. And to understand why, you just need to really understand what Cesaro's good at. Firstly, and we'll just get this out of the way straight away, he's just a phenomenal wrestler. He's got fantastic in-ring skills, his technique is superb, his selling is really good, his storytelling is really good. He's just all round very good. If you disagree with that, then by all means please leave a comment down below to tell me why you don't think Cesaro's a good wrestler. I will give your opinions the time and space they need to mature and improve. Secondly, he's strong. Like, ridiculously strong. I think it's been pretty much universally agreed that in WWE Cesaro is the strongest wrestler pound for pound, if not the strongest wrestler, full stop. Now, strength by itself, nothing really to get excited about. There's been a lot of strong men in WWE's history, but it's there to use as a hook if you want to use it. Mark Henry built a career out of being the world's strongest man. Like, there is an angle there that you can use to attach a story to if you want to, and it doesn't have to be something that you ram down the audience's throat. You don't have to have Cesaro flipping trucks or, you know, lifting ridiculously heavy things all the time, but you can use it as a beat in whatever story that you're trying to tell. And thirdly, look at him. Look at him. How do you have a man this handsome and not book him to the moon? Just look at him. So those are Cesaro's strengths, the things he's really good at. But what are the things that he sort of lacks, the things that need developing? Well, you can't cut a WWE style promo, and that's it. Which is really unfair because it's WWE's job to hide his weaknesses and present his strengths as best they can be shown. And not only that, Cesaro's actually a very good talker, just not necessarily in English. Which is even more unfair because WWE is a multinational company that's broadcast all over the world, and Cesaro speaks 4 other languages. There's room for him to cut promos that aren't necessarily in English if you want him to. Or if you don't want him to, just don't have him talk, or just have him talk in a limited capacity. Well, anyway, with all that in mind, here we are, a pitch video for a man who really shouldn't need to have a pitch video done for them. But he kind of does. So here we go. Here's my pitch for Cesaro. So we'll begin a week or two after Crown Jewel, and we are now in a post-draft landscape. People aren't on the rosters that they're meant to be, and so SmackDown decides that to determine the number 1 contenders for all of its championships and to work out where each of these new guys is going to fit in their rankings, there's going to be a tournament. The winner of the tournament is going to face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, second place faces Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship, and whoever comes 3rd and 4th will team up together to get a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, I'm not going to book the whole tournament because I don't want to, but just for fun, the winner of the tournament will be Drew McIntyre because he's already shown that he can have really good matches against Roman Reigns, and it'd be nice to give him, you know, push him back up towards the main event scene. And in 3rd and 4th place we'll have Ricochet and Jeff Hardy because I just think they'd be quite a fun tag team. Don't agree with any of that? Then by all means please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Who would you have win? Who would you book to face Roman Reigns and go for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Let me know. Before the tournament starts, each competing superstar cuts a promo backstage or with an interview or whatever to say why they think they have the skills to win it. When it comes to Cesaro, when he's asked why does he think he can win the tournament, he says 3 words. Just 3. I am Cesaro. Also in the tournament we have Sheamus. Now, Sheamus promo is a little bit different to everyone else. Everyone else is doing the usual, I'm going to win because I'm the most determined, I'm the strongest, whatever. But with Sheamus, he's got a different tack. He's talking about his career, his long career, and how the injuries that he's had over the years have built up. He says that he has one goal left in WWE and he's running out of time to achieve it. Now, as you can probably guess, Cesaro and Sheamus are in the same bracket for this tournament and are working their way towards each other. Cesaro taking on heel opponents in good, strong technical matches that he wins through in-ring skills and his years of experience, whereas Sheamus takes on smaller face opponents and just batters them, absolutely clobbers them into the ground. We get to the quarterfinals with the two men set to face each other, but Sheamus, he doesn't want any of that. He remembers his feud with Cesaro back in 2016. He knows just how good this guy is and he wants no part of it. So, being the clever guy that he is, he attacks Cesaro backstage ahead of their match. He uses an iron bar to absolutely clobber Cesaro into the ground. There is no ambiguity about Cesaro's place in the tournament. He is taken to a nearby medical facility and ruled out of the rest of the tournament. Sheamus is given a bye into the semi-finals, but he's warned that if he does the same thing again, he'll be kicked out of the tournament. Sheamus beats Ricochet in the semi-final to earn himself a match against Drew McIntyre. In their match, the bell rings and Sheamus hits the bro kick immediately, straight away, like he's running before the bell rings. Drew McIntyre is taken completely off guard, he's knocked out cold. But just when the outcome of the match seems academic, Sheamus lies down on the mat, pulls Drew McIntyre over him and tells the referee to make the count. The referee's a bit confused, but okay, 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins the match. Drew McIntyre goes to challenge Roman Reigns. After the match, Sheamus is again approached backstage and asked to explain his actions. He says, let Drew McIntyre chase Roman Reigns, he doesn't stand a chance of beating him. But me, I said, I have one goal left. I have one thing left to achieve. I have never won the Intercontinental Championship. I have won everything else. If I win the Intercontinental Championship, I've won every single title on Raw and SmackDown, and I will be firmly engraved in the history books. That is my one goal. So we have our pay-per-view match nicely set up for us. Sheamus versus Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'd like these two guys to have a big, sweaty, strong style brawl, if that's okay. Smart video. Oh, I'll have that then, please. Sheamus wins the match and the Intercontinental Championship with the bro kick knocking Nakamura out cold. This puts Nakamura on the injured list for a couple of weeks, just takes him out of the picture for a little while, and when he comes back we can insert him into a main event Universal Championship feud with Roman Reigns, who should be looking for another challenger now that he's done with Drew McIntyre. On the following week's SmackDown, Sheamus, with his new Intercontinental Championship belt over his shoulder, strides down the ring and cuts a championship celebration promo. He says that when he was a child, the Intercontinental Championship represented the future. It was the testing ground, the proving ground to see who was worthy of stepping up to the main event. And for that reason, he says he's not going to defend the Intercontinental Championship against any former world champions, either WWE or Universal Champion. He's also not going to defend the championship against anyone who's had a shot at the WWE or Universal title in the last 12 months. Now, that's actually a little bit important for a couple of reasons. The main one being that I don't just want to give Sheamus runs against established stars. I'd like him to work with some newer, younger talent for a little bit to give them a bit of a chance in a high-profile storyline that revolves around the title. It's also important because Sheamus cuts one little extra bit to his promo saying that if you fail against him, there will be no rematch. He will defend his championship against someone once and once only. You get one shot. If you don't beat him, done. And with that in mind, we're going to book Sheamus against 3 different opponents over the next 3 months. They give him a nice run with the championship, but also to give, like I said before, some fresher faces, some younger guys, or people who just don't get much of a shot on TV, a chance to be featured a little bit and show what they can do. So And with that especially in mind, the first challenger we'll give him is Drew Gulak, because I don't understand how someone with Drew Gulak's talent is not on TV all the time. Actually, I might make that a pitch video for the future. Stay tuned for that one. Dave's pitch for Drew Gulak. Gulak gets his shot, but in the match itself, even with all his technical know-how, he can't overcome Sheamus's raw power and just his desperation to hold on to that championship. Bro kick, 1, 2, 3, ding ding ding, Sheamus retains the belt. And just to put a little exclamation point on his victory, Sheamus, after the match, rolls out of the ring, gets a chair, gets back in the ring and starts laying waste to Drew Gulak. He is pummeling this guy, trying to set an example for anyone who wishes to try and challenge him in the future. This is what will happen to you. While he's doing that, however, a man from the crowd runs in, hooded, can't see his face, grabs the steel chair from Sheamus and clears him out of the ring. Sheamus, rattled but still champion, heads to the back. At the following month's pay-per-view, we'll have Sheamus go against Mansoor, because I think Mansoor's got a lot of talent and it would actually be nice to see him in a featured storyline that on a pay-per-view that's not specifically located in Saudi Arabia. Mansoor uses his speed and his athleticism to take Sheamus to his limit, but again, Sheamus is too strong and too desperate and he wins with a bro kick yet again. 1, 2, 3, ding ding ding. Sheamus, wanting to put another exclamation point on his victory, gets out of the ring, gets a kendo stick and starts battering Mansoor. While he's doing so, as you're probably expecting, a hooded man from the crowd runs into the ring, we still can't see his face, gets the kendo stick and sends Sheamus packing. Now, if you've already worked out who this hooded man is, well done, but don't feel too proud of yourself, because it shouldn't actually be that hard for us as the audience to work it out. We should know who it is. We all know who Batman is under the cowl. That's not a surprise. What we want to do is revel in Sheamus being rattled, being worried, who is this guy, him not being able to work it out. We want to live in our delicious sense of dramatic irony. We know what's going on, Sheamus doesn't. Sheamus, again, rattled but still champion, lines up for his next opponent, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Now this would be Isaiah Swerve Scott's first attempt at a main roster championship, and I'd like to see this actually, because I actually really liked Isaiah Swerve Scott in NXT and I want to see what he can do. Again, during the match, Isaiah Swerve Scott uses everything he's got to take Sheamus to his absolute limit, but as I've said a couple of times now, Sheamus is not letting go of that belt in a hurry. He's too strong and he's too desperate. Whack, bro kick, 1, 2, 3, ding ding ding. Sheamus retains the championship. After the match, he rolls out of the ring and grabs an iron bar. He gets back into the ring to deliver a beating when the man in the hooded top arrives again. Now, were you expecting this? Of course you were. And so is Sheamus at this point. Sheamus, not letting himself get caught off guard for a third time, turns around and clocks this hooded man. He manages to take him by surprise, puts him into the corner. He grabs a mic and says, "Who do you," still not doing the accent, "who do you think you are? Who do you think you are trying to take me down, trying to beat me up after my matches? Who do you think you are?" He puts the microphone into the man's face and this man says 3 words. Just 3. "I am Cesaro." Sheamus takes a step back, recoiling in surprise. He can't believe it. "Cesaro, but I thought I injured you." Oh. Cesaro pulls his hood down, revealing his beautifully handsome face to the audience, and as Sheamus reaches up with the iron bar to hit him, catches the iron bar in the air. He snatches it out of Sheamus's hand and bends it. Again, not running the strength down the audience's throat, just using it to highlight just that little dramatic moment in the story that we're telling. Sheamus, completely rattled, grabs his belt and runs backstage. He wants to get as far away from this man as possible. On the following week's SmackDown, Sheamus says, "Alright Cesaro, fair enough, you've had your fun, but guess what? I'm not defending the Intercontinental Championship against you because you keep attacking me from behind. No, this ain't happening, it's not happening." SmackDown management, on the other hand, they've got a different view. They remind Sheamus that due to his own actions during the tournament, he's actually owed a one-on-one match with Cesaro. Sheamus' days as champion are numbered and he knows it. In the remaining 3 weeks leading up to the next pay-per-view, Cesaro will take on all of Sheamus' previous challengers. Now, There's a couple of reasons why we're doing this, and the first is to draw that parallel between Cesaro and Sheamus. We want to show that Cesaro can beat the same people that Sheamus is beating. We also want to remind people just how good Cesaro is, because he'll have been off TV for about 3 months by this point. That's a long time. Now, we'll have hopefully built a little bit of anticipation with the whole Masked Man character, and we haven't let it drag out too long, so he should still have a lot of fan support behind him. But it'd be good to remind people just how talented he is. It also gives each of these 3 guys a chance to show what they can do again with a different opponent. Give them a bit more TV time, give them a bit more of a rub, and also we can use it to further that storyline and build heat towards the match between Sheamus and Cesaro, because Sheamus is not allowed to let this go unanswered. He tries to attack Cesaro after each of their matches using the same weapons he used to beat down these 3 guys, and we can have either Cesaro fend him off single-handedly, or we can have the guys that Sheamus beat up previously help Cesaro to fend off Sheamus. We can have that, just wrap it up nicely. We can have consequences for Sheamus's actions play out in real time. And during the match itself at the pay-per-view for the Intercontinental Championship, of course, Cesaro beats Sheamus. Sheamus tries to take Cesaro out with a bro kick, but these two are former tag team partners. They know each other. Cesaro is expecting Sheamus to do this, dodges it, turns around, massive European uppercut. Sheamus is out cold. 1, 2, 3, ding ding ding. We have a new Intercontinental Champion. Well done, Cesaro. When I first started writing this video, my initial idea was to just have Cesaro work his way into the WWE Championship or the Universal Championship title scene and win one of those belts. And quite frankly, I think 1, he deserves it, and 2, he's talented AF. You could put the belt on him and he'd make it work. But to do that, you have to do one of 2 things. You either have to cut Big E's first ever WWE Championship reign short, which I don't really want to do, or you have to cut Roman Reigns' Universal Championship reign short. And when I say short, I do know that it's been going on for a long time, but quite frankly, I think he should have it for a lot longer. I mean, take what he's done now and double it. The storyline is perfect as it is. It doesn't need changing. Leave it where it is. And that's why I didn't want to do that one either. I didn't want Cesaro to be the person to beat Roman Reigns. I want the person who beats Roman Reigns to be the next face of the company. Cesaro, he's brilliant, he's talented, but he's got miles on the clock. Realistically, should he be the person to take the company forward into the future? He could do it. Should he be that person? I don't know. So I'm going to go with what I've written. We make Cesaro the gatekeeper to the main event scene. We put the Intercontinental Championship on him, and we have him hold it for a long time. Cesaro shouldn't just be dropping this the next week or the next month to make a moment. We should be having him drop it when the time is right to put that belt on someone who to have them test it out as what does it look like when they are a champion? What does it look like when they have a belt? What does it look like when they are at the top of a particular division? That's what that belt should be for. Like the promo Sheamus was cutting at the beginning of this video, this belt represents the future. This is the last step between a superstar and a superstar winning the Universal or the WWE Championship. That's what this belt should be. And beating Cesaro should feel like an achievement. We're going to keep this belt on him. Basically, the rest of this pitch is for Cesaro to hold that belt for as long as he needs to and travel around the world. When he's in English-speaking countries, just have him cut minimal promos, 3 words, I am Cesaro. Why do you think you have the right to challenge for this person? Why do you think you have the ability to beat this person? I am Cesaro. That's all you need. All you need for him to say is, I am Cesaro. That's it. Have him speak big lengthy promos when you go to Germany, when you go to Switzerland, when you go to any country that speaks French as a dominant language, when you go to any country that speaks German as a dominant language. Have him do those promos there. But the rest of my pitch, as boring and as basic as it is, keep Cesaro with the belt, keep his mouth shut, beautiful face, let this and let this do the talking. That was what on earth is that? And we've got Cesaro to the Intercontinental Championship by playing up his strengths and downplaying his I don't want to say weaknesses, his areas for development, I suppose you probably call it, but we've accentuated what he's good at and downplayed what he's not necessarily as good at doing. And we've also done it by helping Sheamus take off something that I know is on his personal bucket list. We've got him an Intercontinental Championship reign, which is 3 months. That's in WWE terms, 3 months, 90 days. That's quite a long time. That's actually a decent reign for someone nowadays. And that was it. That was my pitch for Cesaro. Hopefully you didn't hate it too much, but if you did, please leave a comment in the comment section down below to tell me why it should have been better, why you guys could have done it better, or maybe you liked it, maybe you actually thought it was really good. Why don't you leave a comment down below? I know my mum's watching this. Hi mum, why don't you leave a comment down below? It'd be really appreciated, and everyone will get to see that you really liked the video. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a like, because that'd be quite nice, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to come and find me on Twitter, you can find the link in the description down below. Come and join me on Twitter. Come and tell me who you want me to do a pitch video for next, or what you want me to do a pitch video for next. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up on this channel in the next couple of months, so hopefully there's something for everyone, but just in case, come and tell me what you want and I'll do my best. That was my pitch for Cesaro. This has been Dave's Wrestling Pitches. I've been Dave, and I'll see you all again soon.